longest reception. As you can see right here, Kenton Leonard and Al Jordan bite, thinking somebody's still behind him. This is a celebration. They like this demonstration kid. He's getting better every week.
How about Doug Flutie? 4 for 4 passing on that last drive for 54 yards, and the pass to Dwayne Dimitrition for the TD.
Well, he was 5 for 6 the first one and 4 for 4. Those are unbelievable stats. And say what you want about this guy, I don't think you're going to see him much better in quarterbacking.
There aren't many other Canadians in this league at the fullback running back position who are as productive as Dimitrition, who has the longest catch this year at 78 yards. Marvin Coleman is back deep.
Well, he's done his part. He's given these guys instant field position every time he's caught the ball.
The toss back to Coleman at full stride, crosses the 50, drops down, and looked like he had some trouble holding on the ball on the way down.
And what I like about this is Marvin Pope, a lot of players, they never get to touch the football. They get it, they run. He's unselfish. He throws it back right down to Coleman, and Coleman picks up some extra yards.
Mike O'Shea with the tackle. He's number 2 in 26 special team tackles so far this year. And of course, coming up later tonight, a full slate on Hockey Night in Canada, of course. Washington at Montreal and Dallas at Toronto in the early one. It all starts at 7 with the pregame show and Ron McLean. And that'll be exciting, where our hopes and our thoughts go to Bob Cole, who's in hospital after suffering a heart attack in Newfoundland.
Big time. All our wishes and our prayers are with him and his family.
Dave Dickinson stays on the ground with his first down play at center field. Good field position for the young man to work from.
And I think what they got to do is they got to start establishing a run. You can see Dickinson gives Anderson the ball. Let's get the offensive line involved right now. Shea fights through the blocks, comes in there. They're swarming. Toronto's got one of the fastest, speediest defenses around right now.
Mike O'Shea tying up 3 blockers on that play.
With no rope.
Here comes the outside blitz. Marcelo Simmons. The ball is away and complete to Big Alan Pitts, and a first down for Calgary.
And I tell you what, Pitts made the great catch, but I tell you what, Danielson picks up the blitz and allows this pass to be thrown. This is a nice job. Faking outside, coming across the middle, ball's on the money. Let Alan Pitts do what he does best after he catches, get yards.
Calgary's first down of this football game on the 17-yard pass and run play to Alan Pitts. And look at this, he's pushing 1,000 yards. I mean, it would be a stretch with 2 games to go, but don't forget, he missed the first 6 games of the season.
Unbelievable statistics.
Here's Dickinson again. Goes to Danielson. It's complete. And then he's pulverized for a short game.
Well, a short game, but he's mixing it up. I like this. He's going over the middle. He's stretching the defense a little bit. He's going to the right. He's going to the left. Giving Anderson a little running ball. You know, this is what you got to do to beat Toronto. If you're going to stay with one thing, you're going to get killed.
Danny Barrett on the sidelines helping to put the game plan together for Dave Dickinson, who was named the winner of the Walter Payton Award as the outstanding player in Division 1AA football back in 1995. And a look at the brain trust in the spotters box for Calgary as they help nurture Dickinson through this game. More pressure, and he can't escape. Rob Waldrop, support from Lester Smith, and of course, big Andrew Stewart up the middle.
Well, that was tremendous pressure up the middle. He had initially good time. Let's give the defensive backs of Toronto credit right now. You can watch right here. They're keeping Danielson to block backside. He's got good protection originally. Can't find anybody. You're only allowed so many seconds. 3 to 4 seconds. That ball should be gone any longer, and you're on your own.
So that will stall the Stampeder drive and make it 3rd and about 14, but they are well within the range of field goal kicker Mark McLaughlin.
He wants to be used.
Stewart coming into the game, leading the club with 7. He'll get 8 for that one. McLaughlin attempting a 49-yard field goal. Lots of leg, and it's good.
Well, Mark McLaughlin, who is 31 of 43 coming in today, he's got a long one of 51, or 52, excuse me, so that is well within his distance. Again, there's no wind possession or no wind in here. This is a kicker's dream.
McLaughlin, who was unfortunate in having that field goal blocked in Edmonton 2 weeks ago on the last play of regulation, a ball that he hit with a low line drive trajectory, and on that one had lots of height, clearing the Argo defense.
I'm sure he went back and worked on that after the Cavis Reed block.
Tomorrow we'll be in Montreal Well, the Blue Bombers take on the Alouettes. Lots of talk about whether Mike Pringle will play in the game after injuring his ribs 1 week ago here. It might be wise to rest him.
I don't think they should play Mike Pringle and save him for the playoffs. You cannot take a chance. He's a leading rusher in the league right now. The rib injuries are very difficult to heal.
1 second to go in the first quarter. Bluto, a 14-3 Argonaut lead as Calgary gets on the board, showing a little muster on offense for the first time in this game.
Well, they mixed it up a little bit, and that's what you're going to have to do. Toronto is bringing everything. They're blitzing almost every down, trying to throw new wrinkles at Dickinson.
Mike Pinball Clemens, who is not returning punts, is in deep on kickoff return for the Argos. McLaughlin sends it deep down the far sideline to the 20, and the Pinball's got it on his shoulder pads. Quick move, goes to the sideline, finds some open room, and is dragged down by Darrell Hall just shy of center field.
And one of the things about a kickoff return is you've got to sell that you're going into the inside. He gives an inside move, the whole team jumps, and then he takes it to the outside. That's how you get good yardage on a kickoff return.
Welcome back to the Skydome in Toronto, and there are the first quarter stats brought to you by Canadian Tire, and a glaring discrepancy in first downs in favor of the Argos. And look at the rushing department. Kelvin Anderson yet to make an impact in this game for the Stampeders.
They've only rushed him a couple times. I think you got to get him in there. You got to start establishing that line of scrimmage right now to open up the passing game. I mean, you can't live with 3 yards pass or 3 yards rushing, excuse me.
There's Dave Dickinson chatting with Alan Pitts, and number 16, that's Henry Burris, who will be the backup here today to Dickinson. He holds 20 records at Temple University, but he's very green. Wearing red. Fake, Flutie rolls. Johnson sniffs it out, and Flutie throws it way out of bounds. Good coverage on the play by the Stampeders secondary.
And a nice job by Alondra Johnson not biting on that fake. He's talked a little bit yesterday about the fact that he's got to be responsible for Doug Flutie if he takes off with the ball. He just does an extension of that. Flutie rolls out, he falls in parallel, and comes and gets in his face and makes Doug toss that ball away where nobody can catch it.
Alondra Johnson, who said he told his teammates yesterday, we came here on Thursday a day early, not to have fun in Toronto, but to be prepared for this football game, and he has been inspirational on defense. Keeping his eye on ex-teammate Doug Flutie. Flutie deep, wide open. Mike Clemens makes a move, evades the tackle by Kenton Leonard, and is gone. "56 yards. Pass and run. Flutie to the pinball."
Well, we talked about this. One of the keys, they got to play disciplined, smart football, error-free football. Again, another breakdown. Pinball comes from the backfield, it's wide open down the field. Kenton Leonard fails to make the tackle, and another easy jaunt into the end zone for Toronto. And they've been doing this week in and week out, almost like it's a scripted play. But teams just keep, either they get too wound up, too tight, but they keep making mistakes at crucial times against Toronto.
The Stampeders had gone back to the veteran Kenton Leonard after he'd been replaced by the rookie William Hampton, who had 4 interceptions, 4th on the club, but he was getting picked on as a cornerback. That's why they decided to go back to Leonard, and he's getting burned here today by this guy. Mike Clemens with his 2nd touchdown of the game, and the Argos open a big lead.
Boy, Robert Drummond.
You're looking at Robert Drummond, who has been miserable, I would say, this week because he's now sitting out his 3rd straight game, convalescing from knee surgery. But, you know, his buddy Mike Pinball Clemens is scoring and doing enough for both of them, already up to 138 all-purpose yards in this football game.
That's unbelievable statistics, and you're right, Robert Drummond wants to be part of the fun, and it's just got to eat him up right now.
Drummond telling me the other day that deep down he would have liked to have had that milestone of 1,000 yards receiving and rushing, but it's not worth risking the football career for that. Marvin Coleman takes some heavy hitting and is knocked out of bounds at about the 45-yard line by George Namako. 33-yard return on the play.
Well, one thing, you gotta love Pinball. One of the things I like about Pinball is what he does after he catches the ball. Watch him, he gets the ball right here, and he starts to run. Now freeze it right here. Now watch the tackling position. You see Pinball Clemens puts his head down where you can't grab him. He's so low to the ground. If you don't wrap up the legs, you can't get to the legs, he's going to move on, and he does that for a touchdown.
When Don Matthews signed Jack Jackson, he said he really liked the fact he was a kick returner because that tells him what he can do with the ball after he catches it.
Big time.
And there's an example there with the pinball earning a touchdown on his own. The Stampeders play it safe as Kelvin Anderson takes a flat pass from Dave Dickinson, but Don Smith was there to fill.
Well, they're going to have to do something. As you said, 56-yard reception by Clemens, his second touchdown of the game, his 10th of the season via the pass. He's got 4 rushing. I mean, if we had an hour, I could talk about all the statistics. He just got so many of them. I mean, they're going to have a hard time picking an MVP out of Toronto. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Robert Drummond still leads the league in touchdowns with 18, and he hasn't played now in 3 games.
How many times can you use unbelievable in one sentence? That's what I want to say.
I'll keep a tally here. Here's Dickinson. Second and long. The outstretched arms. Travis Moore can't bring it in with Johnny Harris riding on his coattails.
You know what's an interesting stat, Mark, is we talked about earlier in the game. They said, the coaches of Calgary, that is, that they wanted to go to Terry Vaughn early and often, and yet we have not seen them go yet to Terry Vaughn. Number 2 has been silent.
Dickinson has favored Pitts and Travis Moore, and Terry Vaughn has been cooling off in the wings.
Now, you know, one of the things they say is, as they call a procedure, one of the things they say is the fact is your quarterback gets comfortable with certain receivers, certain routes, it's timing. They work after practice running routes. Who has Dickinson been working with? I mean, we haven't seen him go to Danielson all that much except for one play, Pitts a couple times. But again, I still think the key fact, number 2, Terry Vaughn has got to get into this game.
That's the question I asked you earlier. How many reps does a backup get in a short week? Not much. And John Jenkins, the Argos offensive coordinator, mentioned that to us in the pregame. Adrian Smith on the return and a flag on the play.
They had Aldi Henry for no yards.
40-yard punt and a 16-yard return. Dwayne Ford making the tackle.
Well, if it is Aldi Henry, boy, I tell you, his name is getting famous on these broadcasts, but not for the right reasons.
Perhaps the word is infamous.
Infamous.
No yards. Calgary number 9. Penalties decline. First down.
You named it, Ludo.
Well,
Henry.
He's had some rough going, I tell you, early on. He's a rookie. He's had 3 face mask penalties in the last 2 games, and now he's got a no yards, and that's just over eagerness.
Mike Clemens snapping back after a brutal game last week in Montreal. Look at this shot he takes from Ray Bernard. Another look close up. Pinball said his left hand went numb.
I'm surprised it's only his left hand went numb.
You're looking at live action now. The Pinball takes another shot and is down.
This is like watching those tough man contests right down there. Pinball's making guys just go crazy. They're coming out of their shoes. Everybody's trying to take a shot at him. He doesn't care. He'll bounce, he'll make, he'll duke, he'll dive, as you said. Takes 3 or 4 guys. Watch this play. Gets the ball. His eyes, peripheral vision, unbelievable. He's going left, he's going right. I can't even talk. Here he goes. Makes Jermaine Miles miss. Comes back inside. You got a gang tackle, and that's what we're doing. But in the meantime, he's taking some tremendous pounding.
Kellogg and Miles put the shot on him there. Here's Flutie, bails it out to Pinball again. This time there are 7 Stampeders waiting for him. And Kellogg is the first to make contact again.
And that's what this Calgary defense has got to do. Take away Doug's primary routes. Make him turn to his outlet pass, which at that time was Pinball Clemens.
Jackie Kellogg, who was placed on the practice roster on October 8th, played the World League last year and played 5 games with Tampa in arena football. And isn't he a timely arrival for the Stampeders here, playing in the nickel back defense?
Well, one of the nice things about getting a guy like him back is if due to injury, or like you say, when you got 6 receivers, he can go in there and do the job and do it effectively.
That's what they need today. They need speed in the secondary, but so far the Stamps have not been able to corral the Argos, who lead 23-1. Marvin Coleman back to take a squib punt from Vanderjack. He's got it across the 30. Gets a block, and the Argos, with good coverage on that punt, limit the gain to 10 yards on a 42-yard boot by Mike Vanderjack. Here comes Dave Dickinson.
Work.
Back at the Skydome in Toronto, and it's standing room only here in the booth. The biggest hands in the league right over here, and the best hands back in 1989, the Grey Cup game, one of the most exciting. And Austin goes back to pass and finds Jeff Fairholm deep. There's interference on the play, but he still comes down with the ball and goes 75 yards for a touchdown.
Look at the speed on that boy. I tell you, he should be out there playing right now. Never mind.
Let's see those hands. Look at that. He's got a few nicks, but they're still pretty good.
A good-looking lad.
You know, that 89 Grey Cup game has received the most votes so far in the balloting for the 5 classics we will replay during Grey Cup week. And no wonder a great 43-40 win by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Dave Dickinson looking tentative there, looking for Alan Pitts. Good coverage by Johnny Harris, who nearly got his hands on.
Well, one of the things is when you roll to one side of the field, you limit your field of vision or your area you can throw to. He's only got one place he can put this ball. Pitts is trying to work. He does a nice job originally of getting away from Harris, goes down trying to catch the ball. But Harris, the good athlete that he is, watch Demetrius Maxey come right through Fred Childress, which you don't see very often. Nice job of picking up by Calvin Anderson on Maxey, allowing Dickinson to get to the outside originally.
Maxey steamrollered 3 Calgary blockers en route to the quarterback. And so it's second and long. Dickinson, flag on the play. He's got time, makes up his mind, and throws it off to the flats. And Travis Moore brings it down, but he's going to be just shy of the first down. Adrian Smith and Ken Benson limit the game.
Well, we also have an illegal procedure on Calgary again. And this is just not working with the quarterback, not used to his time or the voice.
Illegal procedure. Calgary number 18. Penalties declined. Third down.
You know, I remember as a lineman, one of the things, the toughest things to do is you get in there and you got a new quarterback in there. He's got a different cadence style. Some guys are fast, rapid fire. Other guys like to really enunciate each hut. And as a result, you have a hard time anticipating when to leave, and especially for a slot back who is trying to leave the line of scrimmage as the ball is actually hutted. Can cause some problems for you.
Body language looking down on the Calgary bench at this point. They trail 21-3 to the Argos as Martino gets away a wobbly punt to Adrian Smith. And it goes out of bounds at about the 37-yard line of the Argos. Decent field position for Doug Flutie and company. A 29-yard squib.
Well,
by
that's
Martino.
Very un-Martino-like, who leads the league, has surpassed Vanderjack, taking the #1 spot in the punting division at 45.3 average. But that will definitely not help that average, and he might go down shortly.
Martino with the longest punt so far of 79. Vanderjack, his counterpart, who has a longest punt of 80. So 2 big legs, Pluto, in this one. Flutie loves the shotgun, gives him good field position and vision. It's tipped, still caught by 87.
Well, if you're going to rush 3 guys and you're going to play in that deep zone, you're going to have to tighten that zone up because they're finding seams in it right now. Guys are just wide open.
Daryl Mitchell, the rookie, with a 26-yard gain, and look at the protection.
Well, you can see Doug's got all time to throw. Jeff Traversy coming into your screen, but Mitchell finds the seam, just sits down right in there. Kalen and McClanahan, who's dropping in his linebacking position to make the play, but they're going to have to tighten up either that or go to a little man coverage. Mix it up.
Flutie nearly perfect so far, good on 10 of 12 for 147 and 2 touchdowns. This time he hands off to the pinball. He reverses field and is stacked up. The bear hug on the play. Jermaine Miles, and then a hog tie rodeo move. And pinball, you don't usually see him upset like that.
Well, this is what Calgary, you hate to see this kind of thing. A flag came down before this, but look at the emotion. I mean, that's what you want. If you're Calgary and you're down, you want to do something to pick your team up. This is sometimes a good penalty, even though it's not even called on him. It's called on Toronto for holding.
Jermaine Miles.
Holding. Toronto number 65. First down repeated.
Big Willie Williams with the Bear Club on him, but this is what you want to do. You want, as a defense, to get fired up, get in their face, start talking trash, get your teammates fired up. Sometimes it's a little lethargic. You can see right here, Jermaine Miles has got him. Now, pinball, look at the strength of his legs, and actually, the whistle had gone, or that would have been a fumble. That's one of the risks you take when you stay up and don't go down, but pinball will never go down.
He ropes and ties pinball on that play. The Argos with the penalty are in a first down and 20 situation. Pressure, and once again Traversy gets one of his mitts up in front of the Flutie pass. That's twice now Jeff Traversy has gotten up and in the way of Doug's trajectory.
Good. Watch this pass rush. Here we go. We got Jermaine Miles. They really like this kid. But Willie Williams does a great job of, one, getting his hands on the numbers. There's nowhere you can, especially if you got those long arms that Willie Williams has. He's a big man at 300. They say 300. I guarantee he's pressing 330, but he's got the long digits right there, and he's keeping Jermaine off the passer.
If that's the case, Miles is giving up 60 pounds in this confrontation, which is turning into a doozy. Whistles on the play, flags, and somebody jumped the gun at the line. Here's Dave Buell. Still trying to sort it out.
Offside, Calgary number 91.
So big Marvin Pope gets called for.
Well, Marvin saw something here, but there might have been a little movement by the receiver on Toronto. He's up here, right here. You can see right here. There he is. He just sees Demetrician and the other guys leaving. They leave early. He goes. I don't know about that call right there.
Demetrician was 2 or 3 strides across the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 15. Flutie across the middle, and he finds the pinball and more. What a day for Mike Clemens. Hauled down by Marvin Coleman with some assists in the secondary.
Let's just talk about one thing. Let's just say what a half, first half. 7 for 109 yards already, Pinball Clemens. I don't know what the record. We said he had 15 last couple weeks ago. He had 15 catches. He's well on the way to that right now. You can see right now Doug Flutie just sets back right across the middle. He's got coverage. Alondra Johnson's trying to run with him, but he
does
a great job. And then again, the gang tackling, so reminiscent of anybody trying to tackle Pinball.
That's what you call threading the needle. Here's Flutie again. In the corner, Kenton Leonard dumps Demetrician, but there's no flag.
Well, I'm actually glad there's no flag. He tripped. It's an accidental thing. Far too many times we see a receiver go downfield to catch ankles, and they see the referee call a flag. You see him right now. Watch this at the lower end of your screen right here. That's Kenton Leonard knocking the ball out of bounds.
But Demetrician's prone.
He's prone on the ground, but he caught his ankle, and that's a good call. Good decision by the referee, the line judge.
Kenton Leonard, the veteran, clawing his way back into the game. What a record for the Argos. On pace to break their record of 15-3 set last year. Flutie into the end zone for Daryl Mitchell, and it's high.
That was a nice job by Al Jordan coming up top, knocking the ball away from Daryl Mitchell. Daryl actually thought he was open. You see him coming right down. He's going to break in the middle. He's looking for the goalpost right now. He's looking for the goalpost. Al Jordan does a great job of getting back and getting that left paw in the middle.
How about Eddie Davis on that play, too?
Excuse me.
Oh, he says. That's close.
Pretty good in the broad jump, I think, right there. He got some length in that. I hear he's an excellent basketball player. You can see that he's got some vertical ability.
Got some Air Jordan there and a little bit of a curtsy or something at the end of it. Here's Vanderjack attempting a 29-yard field goal, and he splits the uprights. The Argos open a 24-3 lead with 6:29 to go in the first half. Who would have thought that Don Matthews would blow out Wally Buono the way he is so far?
Anything but white.
White's good.
How about faux finishes?
Do they come in white?
No. We needed to know what kind of paint to use where.
Alkyd, latex, or what?
We found the perfect paint, lots of colors, and the right advice just down the street.
And Beauty Tone is backed by the no quibble guarantee.
Okay, you do the bottom half and I'll do the top.
Home Hardware.